Hey folks, I just got out of the shower, so I'm sparkly. As if you guys care. You don't care about that. We're here because we want to watch battle mechs and carnage and destruction. And we'll get to that. But for now, I want to do things different. I always say that, but I am this time because normally I usually start right in the middle of a game, and this time around we're going to play around with the garage and a little bit with the interface. And yes, for all of you who are playing, I have a lot of meteor points. I did the pre-purchase thing, so they gave me gobs and gobs of stuff. It was great. But anyway, that's also, oh yeah, I got the Vanguard, or the Cupcake. Yay, hi Cupcake. But we'll get to that. Anyway, today we are going to focus on what makes Hawken, and more importantly, what makes a Hawken pilot. And if a lot of you out there who have never played Hawken before are looking at this game and thinking, oh, it's just battle mech, what is that, Call of Duty, it's kind of more than battle mech Call of Duty, and I'll kind of get into why. First off, it's actually, unless you're doing like death matches and stuff, but there's still some tactics in deathmatch, but mostly when you're dealing with the other game modes, your mech fits a role, and you kind of have to know what that role is, and plan accordingly. And I'm going to kind of showcase that kind of stuff with my favorite mechs. First one, number one on the list, is the Bruiser. Absolutely love this mech. Most of my past videos, I'm flying around in this bad boy, blowing stuff up or getting blown up in said mech. That's why I have this fancy, nice little camouflage going on. It's because I want it to look very scary. Rawr! And I think it is. But there's a reason why I got the Bruiser, and you're probably thinking because of its awesome tactics, and it fits perfectly for my playstyle, and you all are pretty much wrong. The only reason I got the Bruiser, to be completely honest with you, is because its primary weapon sounds awesome. That's it. That is really it. That is all I ever buy anything for. Same with League of Legends when I got Shyvana. It wasn't because I was like, hey, I want to learn how to be the most awesome jungler ever. No, she turned into a dragon. I mean, that's great. That's just wonderful. So how does Hootie Who's head work? Well, that's the first cue to it. The second part of that, though, is, since that's kind of a recipe for disaster, is I try to, once I find something I like and think is really cool, I try to learn how to play it and do my best to fit the role that it naturally fits in. And it sometimes comes at some great cost, and the Bruiser is probably, no exception to that. But I'll kind of get into what the Bruiser is really designed for. You might be surprised, although its name, if you guys do play League of Legends, might be a QN, and it does kind of fit that way. In addition, though this is my favorite mech, I'm becoming very quickly fond of the Raider. This is a new mech that just came out. It's plays quite a bit differently than the Bruiser. They're both mid-range or midweight mechs, but this is interesting. And when I first got it, I was absolutely terrible with it and almost just threw it in the trash. And then yesterday, I was playing for a little bit and found out that this thing is actually quite awesome. And I'll hopefully get some gameplay in on that. It's more of a close range mech, and it excels at closing gaps. The Bruiser, on the other hand, it's kind of a mid-range mech, not really a long-range or a short-range mech, and it has some really awesome features, but I don't really consider it to be a killer mech. Personally, I think it's actually more of a support mech, and I know they just came out with the new Technician, which was their official support mech, the first ever official support mech, and I mean, it fits it to a T. This bad boy is designed for support in every way. Its primary weapon is a healing device. Yes, that's right. It's designed to follow people around and give them health. So yeah, that's like, the epitome of a support mech. But when I say support mech, what I'm actually considering is more like military grade support. It's not really designed to kill, it's more designed to accomplish a task in the battlefield that indirectly destroys a target. And I kind of think the Bruiser gets into that, but we'll get into that. Let's kind of move on because I'm obviously like dawdling here. So let's go to the customization. If you guys are new to Hawken, never played it before, it's kind of cool. You start out with a primary weapon, and your mech actually levels up. So as you play it, it gains XP, as you can see, and you start being able to unlock things. The primary weapon that you start with for the Bruiser is the Point D Vulcan. As you rank up, you gain access to things like the submachine gun and the assault rifle. Each mech is completely different, so these change depending on what mech you're looking at. So does this one, for that matter. So, and oh, you can equip it too just by clicking. Now, I've been playing with the Bruiser for quite a while. That's why it's level 17. It takes a little while to rank your mechs up. You can also get some special things. There's support items, offensive items, countermeasures, which I'm still a little rusty on how they work. I think they just fire off when you kind of need them to. And they cost meteor points. Oh, no, they do. They cost Hawken points. Oh, that's not so bad then. Okay, I was thinking they cost meteor, which would kind of suck. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of things to play with. This is like a Bouncing Betty, I believe. Sort of a futuristic one, more like hovers and stuff. HE charge, I think it's your standard issue hand grenade. EMP is really nasty, and then a rocket turret that is kind of like the machine gun turret, except, as you might have guessed, it fires rockets. The EMP is... I'm going to go back to that because I kind of skipped it, but the EMP is kind of what you would expect an EMP to do in a sci-fi game. It pretty much disables you. You do have the ability to move, but you lose your weapons temporarily, and your HUD goes away, and things get a little fuzzy too. It's kind of a scrambler. I guess the best way to put it is the EMP is sort of like your flashbang, and it's kind of a pain in the rear. You got radar scramblers, portable scanners, blockade, I don't even know what that is. Creates a thin destroyable wall that cannot be penetrated by weapons or players. Cool. That's pretty neat. Shields are kind of cool. You'll probably see those if ever you're watching Hawken videos or playing Hawken and you notice a big blue thing pops up. That's your shield. Hologram. These are kind of mean. People pop these things down when you're chasing them and you think you're shooting at them and you're not. So kind of cool effect, but kind of frustrating too. Good if you're trying to escape. There's the repair charge, which I guess repairs you. Portable scanner is like a little portable radar. Anything around it gets pinged on the map. And radar scrambler, which I like to move around with me a lot. This thing is very irritating. You pop one on the ground and it starts putting red dots all over your enemy screen that are all bogus, of course. But it gets difficult trying to figure out the fake red dots from the real red dots. And it can also make your battalion look a lot more strong than it is. Like, for instance, if you're running solo against somewhere and you've got 2 or 3 attackers, sometimes dropping one of these things down just like behind something really quickly will dissuade your attackers from following you because it looks to them like you're leading them into your forces and they don't want to die, when in fact you're all alone. So pretty handy trick. I got the extinguisher, battery charge, and the descrambler. Bet you can figure out what that counters. The extinguisher is cooldown system. Very useful if you're in a very big engagement and you're pretty much just spamming left and right mouse button. You're probably going to want to do this because your mech will overheat. So this kind of mitigates heat. Power-up system if hit by an EMP, so that counters EMP, and this, like I said, pretty much defeats the radar scrambler. So there you go. That's how that stuff works. There's also some internal functional things. I'm not going to go through all of these, but basically they do things like 3% damage received, or all damage received. I guess it's like an armor thing. Yeah, armor, so it's kind of stops bullets pretty much. But they also do some negative things too, so I kind of play with them, kind of don't. It's up to you. Upgrades, I think this just kind of tells you your upgrade path, how things are going. If you go to the body shop, this is purely aesthetics, but it's kind of fun. In fact, I was tricked once because somebody changed their Bruiser's high-fram to something else, and I thought I was shooting at something that was not a Bruiser. So even though it's aesthetic for the most part, it sometimes comes in handy because you can make people think you're a completely different type of mech. But yeah, they're kind of fun to play with, and just adds for customization. Same with style. They just added some fun little things. I'll get to those in a second, but right now, as you can see, I've got my worm ore camouflage going. Trim lines are set to kind of blend with it, and this is all fun. Doesn't cost anything to change your, well, camo costs meteor points, but you can change your trim lines as much as you want. Have fun. Yeah, these are great. I'm hoping to be able to play with these. I just unlocked that because, I mean, seriously, that's really funny. And yes, they did. Oh yes, they did. So, a lot of fun there. There's also these little hologram thingies too. I'm not even sure how to deploy these. They don't cost. Oh, that's kind of cool. Better cluck next time. That's wonderful. Robo no-no. Let's do that. Oh, you have to refuel. Okay. I knew there was a catch. Alright, and finally, I said this game was a cross between League of Legends and a first-person shooter, and here's why. This is essentially your masteries tree. And it looks like I have something to play with. Cool. and I will probably throw it in offense because I love offense. What do we have? Can I get this? Reduce recovery time when systems are overheated. Useful. Decrease amount of damage taken from items. Possibly useful. Reduce radar signature when firing. What's this? Increase damage output for all bullet type weapons. I am down with that. We'll stick it there. Alright, so yeah, basically you got your offense, your defense, and your movement. They all do different things. They're not particularly massive additions to your arsenal or your arsenal's ability to cope, but it's enough. And if you're getting in a one-on-one fight with somebody who's roughly equivalent to you, these will definitely turn the tide in your favor if you're set up right. And obviously, you know, how you set yourself up is really dependent on your playstyle. I traditionally am a more offensive player. I like to get up in people's faces and destroy them, hence why I'm starting to like the Raider so much, because it excels at that. But the Bruiser's pretty cool at that kind of stuff too, and that's why I want this direction, is so I can play a little bit more offensively with the Bruiser, and it's really paid off a lot. I'm very happy with it. So, yeah, that's a lot of that. If we go to the store up here, and this is just a quickie. I don't know why it's syncing my account. Hope things didn't break. Today. Wow, this is really taking a while. I was really on a roll here, and this thing's completely interrupted me. I have no idea why my account synced. Okay, well, while we're waiting for this to go, I will explain why I didn't upload a video yesterday. I thought to myself, the weekend's coming up. I can upload videos and have all sorts of great fun, and people will be happy. And of all the things to happen yesterday, my virtual private server, where I host a lot of my client accounts, it got attacked by spam bots, like so badly that it was completely denying service to every aspect of my website. And so I was pretty much busy with damage control on that. I will admit, I played a little Hawken yesterday, but I got interrupted while playing because I had clients yelling at me, and so I was up for quite a while trying to get that resolved. So today I'm hoping to upload this video and maybe another Heart of the Swarm, and to kind of, you know, make up for that. But anyways, back to Hawken. So I'm just going to kind of like showcase, you know, we got a lot of stuff here, which is kind of cool. I showed a lot of the mid-range mechs. There are some lighter mechs too, as one might expect. Their armor is lighter. They're more fuel efficient though, and they're also a bit faster as well. These are kind of a pain in the butt. They're sort of, oh, I guess this is a mid-range. I'm an idiot. No, it's not. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to cut this out for a bit, and then I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Alright, so we have the Berserker. Yeah, they're like fast little scout mechy things. They're kind of irritating because they just, you can't hit them. They fly around, they jump at you, they throw everything they have. They're a pain in the rear. I can't really play that way because I'm, I don't know, slow. But I've seen some people just excel with these things, especially this guy. This scout thing can be a real pain in the rear. Here's the assault, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about the assault, because a lot of people would wonder if the Berserker, or the Bruiser, I'm sorry, you know, which one's better, the Bruiser or the assault? And obviously, you know, that's a moot point, but if we were talking about offensive playstyle and primary weapons and secondary weapons and such, I'd probably have to go with the assault, because there are a couple of disadvantages to the Bruiser's primary weapon and even its secondary missile system that this guy doesn't really have to deal with. Specifically, the Bruiser has a half-second startup rate on its fire before it actually starts throwing bullets into the fray. The assault does not deal with that. He pretty much, when he pulls the trigger, bullets start flying, and that's pretty much that. So, pretty useful. I'm not sure, but the assault might also do more damage. I do know one thing: the assault's primary weapon is more accurate than the Bruiser's primary weapon. So, as you can see, there's a lot, you know, going against the Bruiser in those respects. Additionally, the tow missile has one big weakness, but it also has one big strength. And the strength is it's very deadly. It does a tremendous amount of damage. Its weakness is it's unguided. The Bruiser's kind of the opposite of that. It's weaker missile. Actually, it's a salvo of missiles, but I think all of them together still ends up kind of a bit weaker than the tow missile. But these are guided, which is really nice. So I'll kind of play into that a little bit. We got sharpshooters. That's right. If you guys are sniper fans, there's a mech for you. Again, the Raider. And then we start getting into the heavy mechs, and I don't really personally care for these myself, although since I have a Vanguard Cupcake, I'm probably going to try them out some more. I think they look awesome. I mean, that's kind of cool. These little things on their sides, or these, whatever you want to call these, they're actually shields they can deploy in battle. And they usually are pretty bruising on the battlefield. They have... some of them have kind of specialized weapons. The Rocketeer, as one might guess, is a lot to do with rockets. Grenadier, grenades, and the Brawler, I really don't know. It's got a tow rocket. Wait, what? Is that a primary? Or is that a secondary? Oh, it's a secondary. Okay. Flat cannon. That's kind of like a shotgun, I think. S.A. Hawken's long-range rifle with twin. So this thing looks pretty versatile, actually. Yeah, they're very slow. They have a lot more armor. When you deploy the shield, they have even more armor, so they're kind of a pain in the rear to deal with. But their slow speeds just kind of dissuade me from using them a bit. They're also not as fuel efficient, so I just kind of stay away from them. I like a little bit more mobility. And on top of that, I think the videos end up playing out better because you are a little bit more mobile. But still, the game is a runner. You know, not really a run and gun, so to speak, but it's probably more so than, say, the new Mech Warrior that's out, which is also a fun game, but I find myself playing this more because I like blowing things up, and you get more opportunity to do that in this game. Also, for people who have been playing and watching before, they have done some things, and apparently I have to prove myself again. So I'm going to do some more team deathmatch, just so maybe in the future, yeah, play one more matches to unlock. You have to play 5 matches to unlock these 2, and 3 matches to unlock this one. So I've played 4 matches already. So I'm going to go ahead and do another team deathmatch, and we'll see what we see. It's really too bad. I like the siege maps. They're really cool. Don't like all-out deathmatch. Free-for-alls never really appealed to me. I think team deathmatch has a certain degree of... Oh, really? That's unacceptable. There's nobody playing on a Saturday? That's a little odd. Figured lots of people would be playing on a Saturday. Especially those like me who don't have, like, wife and kids. Well, I think what I'm going to do is cut the video right here for a bit, and I'm going to find a match, and I will try to splice it back in. I have no idea how to do good splicing. Like, I have this AVG video editor, and I can actually use it, but the problem is the videos come out all cruddy, so we'll see what happens with that. I'll try to do my best, but yeah, I'll see you in a bit.